the white picket fence, the house, the wife, the kids. The sports cars, or any other special stuff that I'm going to mention. It's about the American dream. I believe that the American dream is not for everyone. It's not. I'm going to explain why. Having to get a job after getting a job and having time to save up for a house you want to put money down on, or even an apartment you want to put down on. The cost of living in a house or an apartment, it's a lot more than what you make at your job. It's been starting like that before I was even born, I think. Or it might have even started putting higher prices of a house or an apartment. It might have started at that right after I was born. I don't know. I'm guessing here. But the thing is, the house, the apartments, they cost a lot more than what you do at your job. It could even cost more than the career job that you're at right now. With that being said, when you have to save up after getting a job or a high-paying career job, you have to save up for a nice house, for an apartment, and to keep it maintained. And any other mortgage, any other bill that you have to pay down. To me, the American dream, it is not for me. Because I'm not going to put a lot of money down if I cannot afford it. I'm not going to put a lot of money down if it costs other things that are part of it. Maintenance. I think I already mentioned that. When you have to maintain what's part of the house, like a broken sink, or a broken toilet, a broken glass, electricity isn't working, and you know what? It costs. They would add more prices up with the electricity. If you keep using more electricity, more prices are going up. And I was told about it. My mom told me about this. That if you use more electricity, more prices are going up. I think gas and water, they might put that up too. Or maybe they already did. Using more water, using more electricity, using more gas, they put more prices up. Add more costs. And when all the wires are cut, accidentally cut, or when electricity in your house isn't working no more, you have to call somebody to help you fix it, and it costs more. When you're not able to flush a toilet after taking a shit, you have to ask for a plumber or somebody else that knows how to fix a toilet, but it costs more money than that. When the sink isn't going down the drain, or when the water is not coming out, when you need to wash your hands, when you need to take a shower. You have to ask somebody for that. And then it would cost something. When you get in a nice car like a Tesla, I'm driving in front of it right now. It does cost too. Well, it's different with the Tesla because it's an electric car. But if you're getting a gas-powered car, it would cost more than that. I mean, let me think about this. Because when it's an electric car, Tesla, or any other car from a different company that's electric, they put the high price, but you don't have to pay gas. You could already plug it when you park it at home. You don't have to go out there to put money down on plugging something. Like plugging on the gas tank. I mean, plugging your car that looks like a gas tank on the side. I don't know if I'm saying things right, but that's the thing. It even costs more getting a car. Especially when you get sports cars. It costs a lot. So living your life, the American dream, it's not for me. I used to want a sports car as a kid, because as a kid, I was very curious about sports cars. I was very curious about how the engine works. I was very curious about the horsepower. I was very curious about how fast it goes. Because as a kid, I used to be playing this race car game called Gran Turismo. There's like a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and I think a 5. Then I'd be playing Burnout Revenge. Then I'd be playing, how do you say? Whoa. Oh, wait. No. I think it was Need for Speed Most Wanted. There was a Need for Speed game before the movie came out. There's a Need for Speed game. I used to be playing those, but that's not the point. It costs a lot for a sports car and a regular gas-powered car. It may be cheap for a gas-powered car, depends how really old it is, but it still costs a lot to maintain it. When some of the engine parts are damaged, when some of the car parts are stolen, like people be stealing catalytic converters, which it happened to me last year. Right after I was getting my teeth done, when I was going to the dentist, I had to pay $500 deductible. After my insurance helped me out, they were paying $6,000 for the catalytic converter to be replaced. They paid that off for me, and I just paid my deductible. It costs a lot to maintain your car, even when it's new. I've had car problems where the head gasket on the engine damaged. Right now, the engine works, but the air does not work. So I have to have the money to fix it. And it's a fucking heat wave right now. Like 98 degrees. At least that's what I saw last time on the computer this morning. It costs a lot to replace your tires. It just costs a lot to maintain your car. Your headlights are out, you have to go back and fix it. You have to go to the store. Or any other car parts. Like your windows, broken windows, gotta replace the glass. The window not rolling up, you have to ask somebody to help fix the machine. I've said too much on that, but like, it's a lot to put money down on to live the American dream. That's why, to me, it is not worth it. And this is a part 2 about the American dream. And to get a house. I've already said some stuff, but like, some people will steal parts of your house. Like, sometimes they'll be stealing some water tubes or even some gas tubes. Sometimes they'll even take what's a part of your grass. Take a part of your George Foreman grill or any other grill that was outside. People be stealing your bikes. And sometimes people will even break in to steal your car or even break in your house just to take away everything from you. And you had to get the money, you had to have the money to replace them all. It costs a lot to maintain the house and the car than for you to get the money from your job. It costs a lot more than the job you're at right now. It does. It's true. Some of you have already known that. And it costs a lot to even, especially marriage and relationships. It costs a lot when you're maintaining each other while you're in the house together. You're running out of personal equipment. Either one of them has to get in for you, or you can do it yourself. And sometimes the hospitals, when you don't have health insurance, it costs a lot to put health insurance down. I mean, you have to buy health insurance, I think, in order for you to fix yourself or somebody to take care of you when you're injured. It costs a lot to maintain yourself, to maintain another person, to maintain what you have, and it costs a lot sometimes to even maintain your hairstyle, getting your hair done. It costs a lot to live your life. Even if you're not living the American dream, even if you don't believe in the American dream, it still costs a lot to live your life. That's why I say money matters. Money matters because it buys you freedom and happiness. So like, you're not really that free if you have to. I mean, if you're not really feeling that free until people want you to be free. Like, some people will give you the opportunity to be free. So like, not everybody's going to help you out, especially for the homelessness in California. There's not a lot of help. That's why there's a lot of homeless people out in the streets. They cannot find a place to live. There are people who live in their cars. There are people who live in a van. There are people who live in a truck. There are people who decide to leave the USA just to live in a different country that is cheaper than everything else, so they can find affordable housing, so that they can find a better partner to be with. It even costs a lot to date a partner when you're providing and stuff. It costs a lot. I'm sorry. It costs a lot. You can prove me wrong all you want. I mean, you can find things cheap too, but then if you get fired from your job, how are you going to pay off for the things you want? There's going to be another problem if you don't have your job. Even if you have a side hustle. If it's not paying off the bills, then you're screwed. Obviously, might as well stop paying until you get another job and be ready to pay your next bill. And I think they're doing more electric cars because they might stop selling gas-powered cars. Maybe because all the gas-powered cars or any other trucks that's gas-powered is polluting the earth. I guess that's why it's safer. Probably, I don't know if it's the main reasons why the gas is so up. I mean, why gas prices are so up. They're always been up. Gas prices are so expensive. They are. Especially if the gas prices, when you go to a gas station trying to fill up your tank, you put money down on already, but it hasn't been filling up. So it's like, when you look at your tank, you've already put money down on, but it hasn't filled up all the way to the top. And you have to go to the people that work there at the gas station to tell them, hey, that the gas is not filling up in my tank. I just put money down on it. Can you help me out? And if they can't do it, your money is wasted. It's very expensive to live the American dream. The American dream is not for everyone. And on top of that, when it comes to buying a house, when you want to buy the nicest house you want, the nicest quality, highest quality of your house, and you got the money ready, but you know what sucks though? You have to talk to a real estate. I don't know if you have to, but like, there are real estates out there. I've been friends with a real estate that used to be an artist. She went from doing art to real estate. So that's her different passion. So real estates. I've dealt with real estates before where I was just looking for an apartment. And then my mom wants to put money down for me for this apartment that she want me to get. I don't want an apartment if you have to put money down on it for me. I don't want that. I'm not ready for that. Plus, if I'm getting the most expensive apartment or house, and you put money down on, that means I'm not living on my own. That means I'm how life works. It doesn't matter if you help me. I don't want that. If I'm going to get a house, I don't want to be able to talk about it. I just want to have the money to put it down so that I could have a nice place to live, so that I could fucking sleep, so that I could have water, so that I could have a shower, so that I could have a toilet to take a shit in, and so that I could have my own personal space. It felt like I'm doing all right. That's all I care about. But you know what? I'm at a point right now, I don't want the nicest house anymore. I don't. Because it costs a lot to keep maintaining it. It even costs fees. Like for insurance, warranty. That adds more price down. Because if you don't have insurance or warranty, you probably have to ask somebody to fix it, and it charges you more. I'm at a point where, like, if you could just give me a cave, and I could pay $10 or even $1,000. Oh, no. If I could just get a cave and I just pay $100 a month, okay, that's cool. At least for a cave, you don't have to maintain it as much because you're just living in it. You could just go to the restaurants in case if you need to go to the bathroom. You could just go to the restaurants and just get a cup of ice and water. Instead of having a fridge in your house. Like for a cave, I'd just rather live in a cave, sleep there, and then just go someplace else. Or living in a tent. I'm just not too big on expensive houses anymore. I'm not too big on that. Because if I'm getting the nicest house in life, feels like I'm a successful person. I mean, there's nothing wrong with succeeding, but for me, I don't want to be successful. I just want to be all right. I just want to be stable, financially stable, emotionally stable, physically stable, mentally stable. That's all I care about. I want to keep it a balance. I want to be able to take my own time and save. And that's the problem about people. People don't want you to live the nicest. They don't want you to live the most fucked up house. They don't want you to live in a tent. They don't want you to live in a cave. They want you to live a nice property. Or sometimes if you don't want a house, you can just get land and build the house yourself. But that's the thing though. You had to buy parts to build a house. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying for me, I'm taking baby steps. I want to take it one day at a time. That's all I care about. And of course, I do care about money. So that's the thing I realize right now. And I look for myself. I look at myself and realize that time is also better. Time is better than just trying to rush yourself getting the money. You have time to save your money. You have time to take care of yourself. You have time to worry about what's on your list of the day. Time is more valuable. Time has more value than money to me. I still like money, so I'm not gonna bullshit anything. So that's the main thing. Those are my two main things: time and money. The American dream is not for me. And the thing that pisses me off is that people be asking you, when are you going to have kids? It costs a lot to take care of kids. If you don't take care of yourself and you're popping out a baby, then that means you want your kid to make you happy instead of making yourself happy. You got a lot of time to make yourself happy than the kid. And that's the problem with people that don't understand why some childless people like me don't want kids. People do not understand it, and they keep throwing that shit in your goddamn face. When are you gonna have kids? Where's my grandchildren? You ain't getting any. I can barely afford to take care of myself. I can barely afford to maintain this car. And for that, when people have a hard time keeping their cars maintained or the house, they decide to sell it because the bills, the mortgages, and whatever payment they got going on, it's draining the hell out of them. It is draining them. Financially, emotionally, and I think physically. So some people decide to sell their cars, sell their houses because they cannot pay it off anymore. They've had a hard time. They have tried. So that's why some people sacrifice. That's why people give up the American dream. That's why people give up houses. Hell, that's why people give up looking for apartments and houses, because it costs more than what they do at their job. Hell, people don't even want to look at for sports cars or any other new cars, or even sometimes old cars, because it costs more than what they do at their job. And the thing, I forgot to mention this, when it comes to jobs, and when it comes to your landlord, I'm talking about jobs and apartments. There's a couple of jobs that you have to do. Like, you have to do your 2 jobs. Keep your job and keep your money down to pay the landlord. And if you don't do those 2 jobs, you're fired. You're kicked out of the building. So your landlord is just like your boss. You don't do your job, you're fired. You're kicked out of the building. You are done. And then you have to do those other things. Get another job. And get another apartment with a better landlord and the lowest price, so that you don't have to struggle with that ever again. But everybody struggles. I've seen how the world is. I mean, I've looked at articles, I've looked at reports And I even heard stories for people where they're getting kicked out of their apartments, where they're getting fired from their job. Why should we have kids if we cannot afford to take care of ourselves? Why? I mean, what are what scares the hell out of people that some other people are childless? What scares the hell out of them? I don't understand that. And for the people that are being judged for being childless, it's like, why do you got to judge us for being childless? Why do you got to judge us when we make a decision that isn't for us? You're the, like, people, like your family members telling you to have kids, have grandchildren. They want grandchildren. They want your grandchildren. Or whatever the hell. They the ones complaining about their kids not being so grateful. I mean, kids are not supposed to be grateful because they didn't ask to be born. It's not their fault that they cannot make you happy because you didn't do your job first. You got a whole lot of time to make yourself happy. And if you're not making yourself happy, popping out kids, then that means you're putting the burden on a kid to make you happy. So that's why some people don't want to have kids. Because they feel like making others happy doesn't work out. It drains the shit out of them. And on top of that, having kids is already expensive anyway. Child support. Or when your wife divorces you because you're not good enough for her, or you're not paying enough attention to her. Or you provide so much that you don't pay her attention, that's why she divorces your ass. That's why she wants the kids and not you. And you want to see your kids so bad that your wife just doesn't let you, or even the court doesn't let you. And that's the thing for court. When you and your wife arguing, or when a wife is arguing with you, when you as parents are arguing with each other around the kid, in front of the kid, to who gets the kid or not, you have to deal with it in court. And I've dealt with this dramatic situation in my family. Where my sister, where my mom and my sister's dad, they're always arguing, fighting over a child, of who gets the child first, and they deal with that shit in court. And funny how that works. My mom got mad at me because I don't want to deal with going to court. She got mad at me because I don't want to go to court with her. I don't fucking want to. It's your kid, not mine. I mean, she's my sister and all, but why do you got to bring that to me? I don't got the fucking words what to say in court. Do not push me there. And the fact that it's her fault for dating this fucking asshole, which I thought it was, which used to be my stepfather, but he ain't my real father. And that's her fault for dating him in the first place. And she's the one regretting meeting that motherfucker. Well, there you go. That was too off, but like, When it comes to American Dream, the white picket fence, the house, the wife, the kids, the dogs. Oh, pets. Costs a lot to take care of pets too. You have to buy more food for the pet. You have to buy toys for them to chew on. Buy a kitty litter box. You have to pick up the shit off the grass of where they landed at. Dogs and cats taking a shit on the grass. You have to pick that up, throw that shit in the trash. Or even the toilet if you're still at your house. And just wash the shit shit off the grass all over again. So you have to keep maintaining and keep cleaning shit. It costs a lot, and it's a lot of hard work. And when it comes to kids, your firstborn, shit in the diaper. You have to replace another diaper. And if you run out of diapers, you have to go to the store. Shit in your underwear, you run out of underwear, you have to go to the store. You have to deal with all kinds of shit in order for you to live the American dream, which I think is a joke. It's already difficult enough to even try. Try the American dream. You might like it. Shut the fuck up. You should have kids. You don't want to be lonely. Shut the fuck up. The main reason people don't want to have kids because they don't want to be carrying another burden of responsibility. It's already difficult enough to take care of yourself by yourself. Maintaining the shit by yourself. So no, we're not going to add another responsibility we cannot take care of. We're not going to put another child in this world if we cannot make ourselves happy. We're not going to put another child in this world if we cannot afford to take care of one. And that's the thing, taking care of kids. If you cannot take care of your kid and you abandon one, throw that one on the street, aborting one, then that means you don't give a damn about responsibility. You're just fucking around with a kid that's being born. You just want to have sex but not have kids. You could just do that with a condom on. If you don't want to be pregnant. It costs a lot to get the things you want. And me, I'm just better off with baby steps than having to rush myself getting the big step. Like, I don't want to be successful. I just want to be all right. That's it. I want to be stable. And since I'm out of school, I have more time to save. And I just got a new job. I'm working at a swap meet / driving theater. 4 hours a day, or even 5 hours a day. Part-time, evening shift. And I'm working like 3 or 4 days a week. And so since it's a 4-hour shift or even 5, like mine's a 4.5 hours shift. So I'm making $22 or 23. I don't know yet. I got to do the math later. But I'm making good money, even though it's part-time. And I still do an Uber Eats. So in case if I have a car problem and I still have a job, then I could just sit this car down, take the bus to work until I'm able to fix it. So I'm good to go. I got a job now. I got a new job now, and it's closer from where I live. And it's a straight up job too, because I used to apply online and they told me to apply in person.